On the internet at the Global Village headquarters, and then get applications. I think we got over 80 applications, and we ended up taking 15 people on this team, including the team leaders. So it's quite a long process to go through the applications and interview people and make the final selection. What we look for in team members is particularly flexibility and some experience in living in difficult conditions. Sometimes that's people who are campers, sometimes it's people who have traveled in the third world, developing countries. Sometimes it's people who have been on a lot of volunteer projects, and that's the other thing we look for is we ask them what kind of team experience have they had with diverse teams and how do they get along with people if they have some difficulties and personalities, you know, what do they do in those situations. The third question we ask them is about stress. If they really get stressed out, how do they deal with it? And we're going to try to find people, obviously, that don't get angry and have ways of coping with stress other than taking it out on other team members.
One was the awesome people, that people were great, the group dynamics were for the most part great. The other thing is we got to see the real Ghana and the real Africans and the real community and seeing schools and hospitals and all that, and it's going to make being a tourist again in other places much worse.
The one thing I will remember most from this trip are the villagers. I was completely impressed by them. They were incredibly nice, incredibly generous, and the sense of community was absolutely amazing. I learned a lot from them, so I'm glad I got the chance to meet them. I was just shoveling.
Once again.
There we go.
Traveling in Ghana makes me realize
7 miles straight.
that the kind of life we live in North America is very, very unusual. Most of the world doesn't live the way we do.
We came to Africa, especially to Ghana, to create houses, and besides that, we created friendships. A lot of people, when we go back, will ask what we did for the people of Ghana, and the answer is not nearly as much as they did for us.
Rodney, this was a terrific experience. You were a major part of it, and I hope you and I meet again.
I think everybody should do a Global Village trip. They're just great. The group's been great, the country's great, and I hope to come back someday.
We had such a wonderful time here, and Habitat for Humanity is such a great organization, and we just loved being here and getting to know the people. They're beautiful people, so it's great.
Well, it was a wonderful time, and I will be sad to see everyone go tomorrow, and I hope you have a great time. I am glad to know that we made a difference in those people's lives, and I hope that we all continue to do some sort of habitat work in the future.
Wonderful generosity and kindness in the heart of the people is still there. It was just a pleasure to see the country again, the changes that have occurred, and also to share with all of this wonderful team. And Rodney was a great part of it.
Thank you everybody in America. It's been a wonderful time having a wonderful group from America. These people are so wonderful people, generous, and I appreciate everybody, everything that you've done for the village of Pamphile, the houses you've built.
Thomas Ajay Chireme. My position is Secretary of Manson Habitat. I build the home course and write the meanings of Manson Habitat, and letters from any place I read to the company. This Manson Habitat, our problem is our electricity. We have no electricity in Mansin habitat, so we sleep in darkness. If you can help us in that, we'll be very happy in that place, in our place here. This is our own problem we are facing here now.
But I'm 75.
But who are you?
On this one is my.
That we want to rehabilitate. And the area down there was the service center, workshop for that working.
The women. There were iron gates and bars. So it was very difficult for them to escape. They could bring in as many as the room would hold. This room would hold about 150 women. They packed them. They were held here for 1 month.
In those days, the sea was up to the wall. Where you see the hut, now the football field. The whole place was water. That was part of the.
This was the transit dungeon, waiting room for the men. Here, about 300 men were going to wait for a few hours because if the ship had not anchored, they would be at the various dungeons. They were only brought here when the ship was ready to go. And while here, this was the ventilation where they could get air. Because at that time, those windows were blocked because they were too low. Very 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 low. This was the way out of the ship. The gate of no return. At that time, they were steps down, and the sea was much closer. It has receded. It's natural. But this is what geographers and geologists refer to as isostasy. The data is talking about Psalm 132, verse 14. That verse 14 is what is really Dutch. It is interpreted in this way, that Zion is the Lord's resting place.